MusicFest is our signature festival, if you want to call it, for the community, and it brings in people from out of town and engages a large portion of the community from ages, first grade all the way up to high school, and then the seniors with the singing and all of the competition. So it's something that I wanted to help support, to give back to the community. And at the time when I did get involved with MusicFest, it was a tougher time, and the financial support had kind of waned, and I thought that we could help in that manner, and we have since that point.
Well, we discussed several festivals, and we knew that we really needed a festival here. El Dorado hadn't had anything that even resembled a festival. We talked back and forth and had pine straw festivals and the chicken and the egg and all that. And we finally decided on MusicFest because that's a common denominator. People love music, and one of our goals early on was to try to bring in as many varieties of music. We've had bagpipes marching down the street, and flute players from South America. We've had it all, symphony, everything. So we've had a gospel day for a while, but it's been an interesting experience. Early on, it was touch and go.
MusicFest is driven by corporate sponsorships and volunteers. It takes over 200 volunteers to man the festival over the weekend, not counting the months and months prior, and organizing the thing and putting it together.
How much work goes on, how many volunteers we have, how many people give so much time and they don't ask for anything in return. They're just there, they love being volunteers. It's amazing.
You can't put a price tag on volunteers. It takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 volunteers per year to power the festival. Everything from the gates to tickets, to the concessions, security, boundaries, logistics. That's not counting the volunteers that actually organize each of the areas throughout the year.
The entertainment value has gone up. It's probably the best entertainment value in the state. Mark and some of the group with the music venues that they brought in are really quality acts. They're just as good as Riverfest, and I think we can prove that by showing we won Festival of the Year 2 years out of 3. So it's a great festival, and the crowds have grown every year, primarily because it's the entertainment value that you get for your money. You can't go anywhere around and pay the price for MusicFest tickets and even get close to what we offer.
Headliners are something that starts probably the night that MusicFest is over. We start at the end of MusicFest working on the creative process of putting together our headliners of who we want. It never ends up being the way we thought that it would at the beginning. We always start the first year dealing with the agencies in Nashville or Los Angeles, and with the goal in mind, hoping to have them done by May, and wanting to secure headliners that have the biggest crossover or mass appeal to the people, one, of El Dorado and Union County, and then but also is going to attract people from the region and throughout Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, East Texas, Oklahoma. And so it's not something that's just thrown together. There's probably, we overthink it too much, but it's but then it makes it that much sweeter when the whole thing just falls in line. On average, each person that attends MusicFest is going to spend approximately $50, not just in the festival, but in the city in itself, per person. So when you total that up, and we're looking anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people per weekend, that totals a pretty substantial, it creates a pretty substantial economic impact for the entire community. This is the 24th year of MusicFest. This is the 6th year that I've been executive director of MusicFest. And just watching how the festival's grown in the past 6 years. My first year in 2006, that was the year that we had the Charlie Daniels Band, and that's the year that we really upped the ante financially as far as securing bigger talent. And that was the first time, to my knowledge, that we've really seen an overflow crowd to where downtown was about as filled to capacity as could be.
If you look at the success of our downtown right now, our merchants are doing great. The restaurants are just knocking them dead. Downtown is almost 100% leased up, and I think MusicFest is one of the keys to it. People come in October, early October, They walk around. I've talked to hundreds of people that said, you know, I didn't know you had this certain shop here, and they think about that. And then Christmas comes around, and all of a sudden Christmas sales start skyrocketing as they've had in the last few years, and we can give MusicFest a lot of credit for that.
The people that live here will be the ones to make the difference. We can't depend on state government and the federal government to help us succeed in the future. Our town has been here since the early 1900s when oil was founded, and it grew as a very industrial town for a very long period of time. El Dorado Chemical is one of the key industries still remaining in town, along with maybe 5 or 6 others. But if you look at it, our industrial base has dropped dramatically. Our young people are leaving El Dorado and not coming back because of the opportunities that are here. So an industry, we have to support this town to show what it has so that we can have people recognize the value of this community and why it's a good place to raise your family, to start a new family with young children. We have a tremendous amount of positive things going on. We have a brand new high school that's being completed. We have a brand new auditorium convention center that was completed with the college. We have a lot of things happening, but for us to succeed, it's going to take all of the community to participate in it. We can't sit around and wait for someone else to go do it for us. And that's why I enjoy being part of Main Street and all of the other boards I'm on in the community. It's an important part of what I believe we should do for our neighbors in our town.